In an ever-evolving digital landscape, for your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of... For your business to thrive, you must adapt or die. Welcome to Marketing in the Age of AI, the podcast helping you harness the power of AI and marketing tools to revitalize and grow your business. And now here's your host, marketing expert and author of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI, Emmanuel Rose.
Well, welcome to this episode of Marketing in the Age of AI. I've recorded my 100th episode, and the process has changed my business in so many ways. But before I started hosting podcasts, I was a guest on about 50 podcasts, and that helped me to get comfortable with the process. And I'm going to break down a few of the things that have happened to me over the last year and the last 100 episodes. Number one, it's helped me personally, which has been the most outcome that I expected the least, which was it's helped me share my opinions and be way more open and speak freely with strangers and the world. And it's been a really interesting and fun change for me in being way more social and way more accessible and way more authentic. Number two, it's helped me get comfortable talking with people about the secret sauce that I have with marketing and a little bit of the tools that I use and how we're applying the changes in technology and specifically the AI tools. It's also helped me with strengthen my instant rapport building by meeting so many people from all over the world, literally people from Sweden and South America and all over the United States, and very smart and accomplished and educated and experienced professionals who I really would not have had an opportunity to meet and talk to and pick their brain if it wasn't for marketing in the age of AI. And number four, it's helped me feel comfortable establishing myself as a leader in how to approach bringing in these tools and what the best practices or standard practices are of successful people integrating this revolutionary technology into not just marketing, but into all phases of business and being a business professional. It's also helped me be comfortable on video, which is a challenge for a lot of us. And so being comfortable on video and also public speaking has really helped to make that a normal part of my day now, and be comfortable being seen and having opinions. As a podcaster, after more than 100 episodes, it wasn't easy for me. There was a rough start where I didn't have the best materials. I didn't have all the fancy graphics. I was uncomfortable asking questions, and there wasn't a good flow to the show, and I didn't know how to manage the time. But I believe and I live ready, fire, aim. And so jump in and get into it and learn by doing. Through this process, I've had at least 5 different iterations of electronics, microphones, lights, cameras, and then also video capture processing. So now I'm on Restream, which allows for this live stream broadcasting. And I learned about Restream from a man named Christoph, whose podcast I was on. And so that's what's really unique about this podcasting experience is that it's very dynamic, and that as every episode has some nugget for me as well as for the people that are listening. So, and I also maintain essentially 3 studios, one in each house, and then a mobile studio that I'm able to use with the help of Starlink. So that is especially big challenge, since sometimes I work off the grid. Um, I I do have the marketing team that allows me to be the talent, and so for the most part, the process of finding guests or finding hosts and calendaring and researching is either done by staff, or some of it is by automation. And so once somebody books on the Marketing and AI podcast, then some automations happen that get the calendar event, build the restream space, and then also does some research for me that produces a document that has the person's information, their bio, LinkedIn address, and the opening introduction for them, and then also an initial set of questions, which I may or may not dig into. And so for me as a marketer, the first 100 episodes have helped me reconnect with the need to be focused on the fundamentals of marketing, that these AI tools are shiny and new and exciting, but there's still a fundamental activity in marketing that says we need to identify the person. We need to identify what stage of life they're in, what stage of the buying process that they're in, what their challenges, concerns, breakdowns are, provide some concepts of solutions, a real good call to action, and then clear next steps. So those fundamentals are still the things that the humans have to figure out. And these AI software tools are just that, are tools for each part of that process. Let's see. So I think the other thing that's been amazing for me is just seeing the complete breadth of tools that are being created. Some are groundbreaking and phenomenally interesting, like let's just say ChatGPT or Claude, and those things are very useful to the marketing department, marketing function. There's tools that are now automating email and pay-per-click advertising and all sorts of things, and through this process of having the podcast, and I've seen where the innovations are happening and how people are using it, and has given me 2 real overarching benefits. The first thing is that as a podcaster, I'm able now to create way more content for social media, pay-per-click advertising, email marketing, and all those other content marketing activities. I have more content than I can ever use because we're doing 3 to 6 episodes a week, and that once that gets churned into shorts and a blog post and an email announcing it and social media posts, then I have enough. I could go the next 10 years and never produce another piece of content. So that is kind of the nugget for people who are not yet doing podcast guesting or don't have a podcast of their own, is that it makes authentic voice and subject matter expertise very accessible. Even just once or twice a month, being on a podcast can produce that. But having your own podcast allows you to produce content that would be targeted for your ideal client in a little more specific way. The other thing that I have is a very clear understanding of the state of marketing and integrating AI today. And of course, it's super dynamic, and it's going to change by the time I finish this podcast. But right now, these are the things that I have a clear understanding about. Number one is to adopt an AI first philosophy. And so if you haven't started to use OpenAI or Claude or one of the large language models, then you really should start with some fun things that get you an initial understanding of how these AI platforms can help you with vacation planning, or what kind of gifts I should get for a friend of mine who has a birthday in February, or rewriting my LinkedIn bio. So some really low stress, high reward activities like that. So AI first philosophy, and use one of the bigger and more established platforms like ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity. Those would be the good places to start. I personally like Perplexity the best right now for research because it has a tremendous amount of citations. So you'll see where the content is coming from on that from the answers that it's giving you, and treat those platforms like a super intelligent 10-year-old, and know that you're going to need to write not just one prompt, but a handful of prompts to get exactly the outcome that you're looking for. The second thing is to get to know the basics of AI and what content I can share with the world by putting it into a crawlable, dynamic search engine, and which information cannot be shared. For instance, my passwords to all my financial accounts; those things are private. Also, try to find tools that have an SSL and encryption if that's available. And then the third thing is to dig into the concept of prompt writing, and there's lots of phenomenal resources for this on YouTube. I've also got a book on emmanuelrose.com and on Amazon. That's a Foundations of Prompt Writing book. But the prompt is the entry into the game, and there's some really good processes that are established to help you get the best outcomes in as quick a time as possible. The fourth thing is to start creating custom GPTs for your company or for your department, and these are warehouses or repositories of as much digital content as you can aggregate and put in and attach into a GPT, so that when you're asking these questions, you're going to get answers that are in your brand voice, that are referencing past work or your website, and so it won't take as much prompting to get really good outputs from this custom GPT. So once you have those four fundamentals, then you want to identify a clear challenge. Like, what are we really not good at as a marketing group or as a business, or what is the job function that we don't have anybody in right now that we need some help with? And that could be email marketing, for instance. That would be a really good one where you say, you start to develop a prompt around where the email is going to be sent, how many emails are going to be, what the content is about, and then test 2 or 3 tools to find a solution that's going to help you solve that one problem. And then once you have that one problem solved, then you can move on to the next area that needs help from these AI tools. And there's a lot of really great websites that have got these AI resources on them, so you know where to go to find these tools. So one of them is Futurepedia.io, and not only is it a place like a marketplace for software, but also for education. So that's a critical part, is identifying one problem, finding some solutions, and massaging that into your tech stack. And then the next step is to look at integrating your chatbots and the AI voice calling into your tech stack, and then connecting those with your custom GPT so that those autonomous bots are calling on good information to interact with customers and prospects. One client of mine, they integrated a voice application that just calls past due clients, and it's at less than $100 a month, and it has an instant ROI. That from the first time they deployed it, they were able to generate phone calls and payments, and it's a job that nobody liked to do in the organization, and that most people don't like to do, and it's a perfect job for the computer to do, and it had a very quick ROI. The seventh thing is integrating Zapier and Make.com and other agentic AI software into your tech stack so that these AI bots or AI agents are starting to automate processes with no-code AI solutions. So, for instance, when I was describing when a calendar event happens, and then the next thing that happens is the person's LinkedIn goes and gets crawled, and then that bot writes the summary for me of how I'm going to introduce the person. So that's a process that I used to do, but now has been automated by a no-code software solution. And even in a small business, there's hundreds of those kind of time waster activities that can be eliminated from human activity by the software doing it, but with a human in the loop, making sure that it's producing good work. And that's the eighth thing, which is test, and continually improve your processes and AI software connectors, and search for places where people are doing work that software should be doing work. So that's the list of what I've learned from 100 episodes of marketing in the age of AI, and I'm well on my way to getting my second 100 episodes under my belt. And I hope this has been valuable. I appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Marketing in the Age of AI.
Thanks for listening to Marketing in the Age of AI. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast so you never miss a future episode. Your copy of Authentic Marketing in the Age of AI is available at Amazon.com or EmmanuelRose.com. You can also connect with Emmanuel on LinkedIn. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.